A fantastic looking field of 28 super late model competitors. Race number 2 of the 2012 racing campaign for the ARCA CRA Super Series at Toledo Speedway. Terry Fisher Jr. in the 81 will go from the pole. On the outside of him, it'll be the 23 of Eddie Van Meter. Johnny Van Dorn in the 61, and Chad Finley will go from row 2. Brian Campbell set a new track record in qualifying. He will go from the 5th spot on the invert to his outside. Scott Hance in the 72. Alec Carl in the 5C. Nick Galata, the 131. Damon Eckhoff, the 15. Rick Turner, the 26. Those are the front 10 starters for today's 7-Up 100 for the ARCA CRA Super Series. Race number 2 for the 2012 ARCA CRA Super Series Super Late Model Campaign. Field slowly works down the back straightaway, slowly building speed. And here we go for 100 laps at Toledo Speedway. We're green. Safely through the first couple of corners. Battle is for the 3 spot. Chad Finley hanging strong on the outside of Johnny Van Dorn. '15 of Damon Eckhoff drops off just a little bit. He lets a couple of cars get past him. Still side by side for 4th. Now, Brian Campbell in the 20 gets past the 44. Put Campbell up to 4th. Your leader, the 81, Terry Fisher Jr. The 23, Eddie Van Meter, sits 2nd. Terry Fisher Jr. in the 81 getting shuffled back a little bit. Your new leader is Eddie Van Meter. Fisher in the 81 shuffled back to the number 4 spot. The 61 of Van Dorn and the 20 of Campbell are moving up into the top 2 strong. Currently sitting 2nd and 3rd. They want the top 2 spots. Lead. Brian Campbell looking to the inside as well. Van Meter going to be shuffled back to 2nd, possibly back to 3rd. Brian Campbell trying to do everything he can to get past the 23 of Van Meter. Johnny Van Dorn was the victor here the last time the CRA Super Series raced the series back in 2010. He'll set sail with the 61 of Van Dorn. Ten laps complete, 11 in this time of the line. Yellow flag gonna come out. Problems for Jason Deach in car number 7 over in turn number 2. The window wax forward, car number 7 for Edgerton, Ohio driver Jason Deach has problems. Appears to be a little bit of damage to the left front of that machine. Yellow flag out. 12 laps complete, 88 circuits to go. 12 laps in, 88 laps to go. Johnny Van Dorn and Brian Campbell, your front two cars. A couple of West Michigan drivers looking to reign supreme here in Ohio this Sunday afternoon. Eddie Van Meter will restart third. Terry Fisher Jr. led the early laps, will restart fourth. Chad Finley, the top five. We come back to green, 88 laps to go. Down the back straightaway they work. Campbell noses ahead just a little bit. Van Dorn still holding pretty strong on the bottom, but Campbell inches out just ever so slightly into the race lead. Brian Campbell had a couple of victories last year on the CRA Super Series Tour as Van Dorn comes back into the race lead. Campbell had victories at Fairfield Speedway in May, and again a couple of weeks after that at Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis. Front two cars a good quarter straightaway ahead of the third place car, Eddie Van Meter. Van Meter trying to fend off Finley. Battle back for fifth. Nick Milano, 131. The 72 of Scott Hansen. The 81 of Terry Fisher Jr. All in a good battle. Alec Carl and Rick Turner back there as well. Good racing all around the Toledo Speedway. Back here. Boris Jurkovic to 53, rounding the back of Kinsey Rustin right now. Jurkovic ran near the front all the way last week's JAG CRA All-Star Corvette at Plymouth Speedway, and is also the 2011 champion of the Winchester 400. Front two cars well over Kansas Speedway in third place, Eddie Van Meter in fourth place, Chad Finley. Campbell in the 20, still hounding Van Dorn. Leaders beginning to approach. First victim going to be the 84, Jamie Wick. 4th, Carl 5th, Scott Hance makes a bid for 6th around Nick Goata. Goata back to 7th, Turner 8th, Fisher 9th, Eckhoff rounds out the top 10, Jurkovic 11th, Rustin 12th, Caston 13th, Vermiller 14th, 15th, Brayton, 16th, Jack, Morrissey 17th, Leslie 18th, Robinson 19th, and Johnny Jacobs rounds out the top 20, and problems on the front stretch. Billy Leslie in the 18 and the 41 of Brent Jack get together. Some damage done to the 18 of Leslie. Doesn't look like too much damage done to the 41 of Jack. Yellow flag out, 31 laps in. Brian Duncan, the chief starter for the ARCA CRA Super Series, shows the field 1 to go. Johnny Van Dorn, Brian Campbell. The top 2 cars, they've been dominant here in the first 31 laps. As before the caution, they almost had a full straightaway advantage over the 3rd place car, Eddie Van Meter. Chad Finley will restart 4th. Going 5th will be Alec Carl. 6th, Scott Hance. 7th, Nick Goata. 8th, Terry Fisher Jr. 9th, Damon Eckhoff. And Boris Jurkovic rounds out the top 10. Field builds speed through corners 3 and 4. Back to green, 31 in, 69 to go. Plume of smoke coming from one car. That's the 7 of Jason Deach. No caution displayed. We stay green. Good battle back here for about the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th spots between Goata, Fisher, Jurkovic, and Becca Caston. Eckhoff gets around the 81 of Fisher rather. Van Meter up in the 23, sitting right now in the number 6 spot after fading back a little bit. Finley 3rd, Hance 4th, Carl 5th. Van Meter back to 6th. Scott Hance for 4th. This time around, Van Dorn, Campbell, Finley, and Carl in the top 4. Scott Hance rounds out the top 5. 6th, Van Meter. 7th, Jurkovic. 8th, Caston. 9th, Eckhoff. Travis Brayton, 10th. Rustin, 11th. Terry Fisher Jr., 12th. Back for the 13th spot, Brett Robinson. 14th, Brandon Hermiller. And 15th, the 76th, and Nate Carew. 16th, Andrew Morrissey. Back for 16th, Johnny Jacobs. Steve George driving the FLF race cars. Tim Curry, number 90 machine here today after destroying his pretty good a couple of weeks ago at Anderson Speedway. Speedway pretty good here. Clears Chad Finley, put Alec Carl into the top three. The state of Michigan reigning supreme here in the early laps of the 7x100 at Toledo Speedway as we come to halfway, actually 50 in this time by Johnny Van Dorn, still your race leader. Brian Campbell sits in second. Third, Alec Carl. Fourth, Chad Finley. Scott Mintz, the only non-Michigan driver, rounds out the top five. Travis Braden in the 01 car. He's already had one race this week. He competed down at Richmond International Raceway just a couple of nights ago with the Hamlin Short Track Showdown. Had a solid outing in that one. Doing a battle here with Damon Eckhoff. Right in front of him in the 15. He takes his car pit side. And now we're going to have a caution. Yellow flag on the speedway. Possibly some liquid or debris from the 81 car of Fisher. And with that, the yellow flag is going to come out. 60 laps complete, 40 laps to go. As it's been an impressive run so far by the front two cars of Johnny Van Dorn and Brian Campbell as they continue to lead. Front four cars, all from the state of Michigan. Johnny Van Dorn, Brian Campbell, Alec Carl, Chad Finley. Up front, 5th, Scott Hance. 6th is Boris Yurkovic as we come back to green. A big jump on that restart by Van Dorn. Green flag in the air. Scott Hansen, the 72, takes a look to the inside at Chad Finley for the number 4 spot. Put Scott Hansen to 4th. Yurkovic going to take a look to the inside of Finley for 5th. Last year's Winchester 400 champion. He gets around Chad Finley and put Boris Yurkovic into the top 5. Brian Campbell moves Johnny Van Dorn just a little bit down the back straightaway. Brian Campbell makes a bid for the race lead, and coming to lap 63, your quick qualifier, Brian Campbell, your new race leader. Alec Carl in the 5 sits in the number 3 spot. Battle back right now. Becca Caston, the 51, trying to clear Chad Finley. Finley may have used his tires up a little bit earlier on. Starting to fade a little bit as both Caston and Eckhoff trying to get around him down the back straightaway. Caston into 6th. Eckhoff trying to go into 7th. Travis Creighton, the 01, is right there as well. Couple of 39s back behind the 42 of Finley. The 139 is Andrew Morrissey, and the 39 is Kenzie Rustin. Rustin was the winner last October at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis. Is now Shilpo side by side with Morrissey down the back straightaway. Give the spot to Kenzie Rustin. Two talented females in today's starting field in the likes of Kenzie Rustin, the 39, and just ahead of her by a couple of spots right now, the 51 of Becca Caston. Alec Carl currently sitting in the 3 spot. Battle here for 4th. Scott Hansen, 17 on the low side. On the outside, Boris Yurkovic. Yurkovic making that high lane look pretty good right now. And Yurkovic will go into the number 4 spot. Hands back to 5th. Caston still 6th. Pretty good. That'll be for a top 5 position here soon. Behind the 51 Caston, the 72 Enhance. Battle is for 7th. David Eckhoff at 15. 01 is Travis Braden. Kenzie Rustin. The other 39, Andrew Morrissey. Chad Finley's drop back on the trouble right there for the 139 of Andrew Morrissey as he gets into the back of Kenzie Rustin. Rustin loops it around, and the yellow flag is going to come out with 21 laps to go. A tough break for the El Reno, Oklahoma driver. 21 laps to go in the 7-up 100 for the ARCA CRA Super Series here at Toledo Speedway. Campbell, Van Dorn, Carl, Jurkovic, Kasten, the top 5. Field building speed through corners number 3 and 4, back to green in the 7-up 100. Some contact between Carl and Van Dorn off the second corner, but we stay green. Kasten, the 51, taking a look to the inside of Jurkovic, but she loses a little bit of momentum. Hands powering back around the outside. Whoa, problems for Hance off the second corner. Scott Hance spins it around, as well as the 139 of Andrew Morrissey. A couple of cars getting crossed up down the back straightaway. Hance spun, and then Morrissey spun as well to evade the accident. But nonetheless, caution flag comes out 82 laps in. We come back to green in the 7-up 100. Once again, Brian Campbell back to the race lead. Van Dorn drops back into second. Alec Carl looking to get around the 53 Jurkovic as we see Andrew Morrissey here on the front stretch getting all kinds of crossed up. Morrissey in the 139 belts the outside wall pretty good. Morrissey going to keep the car going though. Pretty good off of the fourth corner. Meanwhile, Kenzie Rustin has battled her way back into the number 7 position as she gets around Nate Caruth. And now a couple of cars spin over in corner number 3 and 4. It's the 65 of Johnny Jenkins and the 41 of Brent Jack. Caution going to come back out. Didn't quite see what the initial contact was, but nonetheless, Johnny Jenkins and Brent Jack bring back out the yellow. 84 laps complete. Toledo Speedway, ARCA 7-up pace car has moved to the infield. The field picks up speed. Here we go, back to green, final 16 circles. Again on the restart, Campbell and Van Dorn get about 4 car lengths ahead of third place Boris Jurkovic. 3 wide for a second between Caruth, Braden, and Rustin. Into the inside of Caruth. Braden is going to follow suit after getting spun a little bit earlier. Kenzie Rustin up to the number 6 spot. A couple of female drivers running 5th and 6th in the lights of Becca Kasten and Kenzie Rustin. Kasten from Wisconsin, Rustin originally from Oklahoma. One car spins it around here on the infield. couple of cars spun around in the backstretch. Andrew Morrissey and Terry Fisher Jr. get involved in another accident. Yellow flag out once again. Just 10 circuits remaining in the 7-up 100. Brian Campbell and Johnny Van Dorn have had the dominant cars here this afternoon. They'll come back to green and settle it here at Toledo. Back to green off of 4, and we got problems again. Oh, we're gonna stack them up. Well, one car upside down. It's the 42 of Chad Finley. Kenzie Rustin got bobbled a little bit, and as she gets turned around, Chad Finley gets the 90 car of Steve Vore stuck up behind him. And with that, Chad Finley ends up on his roof. Red flag is going to come out immediately on this one. 7-up 100 as we are set to run the final 11 laps. A lot of good cars got caught up in that accident. Campbell, Van Dorn, Jurkovic, Carl, and Kasten, the front 5. Brett Robinson's worked his way up to 6th as we come back to green. 89 in, 11 to go. Back to action in the 7-up 100. The front 2 cars that have been dominant all day shoot back out in front by a couple of car lengths. Van Dorn battling in the outside of Campbell. Van Dorn in the 61 trying to battle back to the inside as they work down the backstretch. Coming to 9 to go, this time by. Campbell still out in front. Van Dorn 2nd. Jurkovic 3rd. Carl 4th. Kasten 5th. Back in 6th. 8th. Terry Fisher Jr. 9th. Nick Golada. Steve Dorr rounds out the top 10. Steve Dorr got caught up in that last caution. You see a little bit of damage done to that 90 machine. Of Scott Hans. Possibly a fender rubbing on the 5 of Brett Robinson as Hans takes a look to the inside. Scott Hans up another spot as he's going to clear Brett Robinson. Possibly a tire rubbing on the fender of that 5 machine, trying to make it these final 10 odd circuits. A race for the race win. Brian Campbell from Michigan. Johnny Van Dorn from Coopersville, Michigan. A couple of Wolverines reigning supreme here this afternoon. It'll be 4 laps to go when they get to the line. Though to catch the front 2 cars unless something happens. Alex Carl, another Michigan runner, sitting in the 4th position. Becca Kasten in the 51, a solid top 5 run here this afternoon. This time by the popsicle sticks go in the air from Brian Duncan. 2 laps to go for Brian Campbell. Yellow going to come out. 2 laps to go. The caution comes out for the 84 of Jay Newick. Cutlerville, Michigan driver Jay Newick loses it down in corner number 4. Yellow flag out. Just going to be a green-white checkered to settle this one here at Toledo. 2 laps to go at the Toledo Speedway for the ARCA CRA Super Series. A green-white checkered to settle this one. Brian Campbell and Johnny Van Dorn, the front 2, back to green to settle it at Toledo. Van Dorn fighting back on the outside of Campbell. Campbell battling back on the inside. They touch once, twice. Wow, a couple of cars. Big trouble over in corner number 4, Johnny Jenkins. As the driver's side of that race car absolutely destroyed. Lancaster, Ohio's Johnny Jenkins gets crossed up and gets T-boned by the 6 of Brandon Hermiller. Brian Campbell, Johnny Van Dorn, 2 laps to go at Toledo Speedway. Let's try it again. Two laps to settle it in the 7-up 100. Campbell throws the block on Van Dorn. Here comes Boris Jurkovic to the inside of Van Dorn for second. Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go. Battle for second continues. Jurkovic clears him, coming to the checkered flag. Brian Campbell wins the 7-up 100 at Toledo Speedway. Boris Jurkovic second, third spot to Johnny Van Dorn, fourth to Alec Carl, and a good run for Becca Caston as she'll round out the top 5 in today's 7-up 100, second race of the 2012 campaign for the ARCA CRA Super Series here at Toledo Speedway.